It's Monday, June 30th, 2014, and let's talk about what happened this weekend over at xdadevelopers.com. First up, device updates. As expected, Android 4.4.4 started rolling out to a few more devices over the weekend, ending up on the Google Play Edition LG G Pad 8.3, the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact, the Z1, and both the Google Play Edition Z Ultra as well as the non-Google Z Ultra. Some more devices received ports of Cyanogen Mod 11 as well. These included the Moto E, which also got a port of SlimCat, and the LG G Flex. The ports for the Moto E are both considered fairly stable for initial release especially, with mobile data being the only real kind of an issue. The port for the G Flex though, it's not really stable at this point. It's still considered an alpha, so there's only a few things that are really working, but it is still very nice to see custom ROMs starting to show up for this device, more and more of them. Moving right along, the next few stories are all sort of Google and Android L related, so let's clump those together. Just a few days have passed since the L developer preview released, and XDA recognized developer Savoca has managed to get it rooted for both the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 7. In order to do this on your device, you have to have a custom recovery installed first, and then you flash Chainfire Super SU to it. Then you flash the appropriate bootloader for your device that you can find in his post, and you're good to go. Keeping things a-rolling though, we've spoken before about Android Studio. Well, another release of it came out this weekend, version 0.8.0, which they're calling Beta. This version brings along with it support for Android L, of course, including the new material design elements, as well as support for Android Wear and Android TV. So if you've been developing your apps in Android Studio so far, you might want to go ahead and update to get this latest version, to go ahead and get a head start in making your apps compatible, and maybe even adding in support for Wear or for Android TV if that's something that you're interested in. Now, speaking of Google's new platforms, an interesting article hit the portal this weekend talking about OEM skins and customizations, and how with these new platforms in particular, we may no longer be seeing those sorts of customizations. In an interview with Ars Technica, Google's engineering director said that all of these new initiatives are going to have user interfaces and software controlled by Google, not the OEMs, which would mean much faster updates, less differentiation, and basically just the differences being hardware features and pre-installed apps. I know a lot of you guys are not fans of the different spins of Android and how they tend to slow down device updates, so I'm kind of curious what you think about this. Being locked down into an almost walled-in garden at that point, is that okay with you? I'm probably in the same boat as you guys are for the most part, but there's also this little part of me that's curious what an HTC Sense Android Wear device would look like, or a Moto Blur device. I'm not saying that I would buy one, but it is still an interesting topic to think about. Anyway, one last Google update story hit the portal that I definitely wanted to mention. We've spoken before about Android Silver and how it's supposed to come in February or something, and then the suggestion was made that the Nexus line might be going the way of the dinosaur after that. But according to that same Google engineering director we talked about earlier, he doesn't believe the Nexus line will ever go away. He says, and I quote, "There's no way you can build the open source code without the phone or tablet or whatever you're building." And later goes on to say, "I don't see why we would ever turn away from that," meaning Nexus line. Definitely good news. I know that I, for one, am breathing a sigh of relief. I'm sure some of you guys are as well. And finally, in response to the new Android Wear devices that have been announced, forums have been created for the LG G Watch and the Samsung Gear Live. Additionally, a forum was added for the Asus Padphone X, if that's something that you're interested in. But that's going to be about all from me for today. Remember, if you like this video, hit that like button down below the video. We always appreciate that. And subscribe to receive our content as soon as it becomes available. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.